Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tala's Cosplay Vlog. I'm Tala, and today we're going to be talking about materials for props. Well, at least some of them. You can use a lot of stuff for prop making, so this is just a very small, short, quick ideas list. You can use so many different things for props. So yeah, let's get started. Since I'm assuming you've maybe watched some of my other videos related to this one, you need to figure out what prop you're going to have, and then you're going to need to figure out how to set up your room. After all that, you print out a life-size version or draw out a life-size version of your said prop, and you can put that on poster board just to have it so it's more secure and you always have it for reference and for creating your prop. Once you have all this stuff done and over with, you should probably make props in steps, I guess, or phases, or whatever you want to call it, because certain props can be more involved. Other props, not so much. Like, paper fan, you're done. Whatever. More like Cloud's Buster Sword. It's going to take you a longer time, so remember to plan that ahead of time. So yes, I kind of do it in phases. Like, I get my life-size sketch out of my prop, and then I put that on a poster board, and then I keep that, and then I make a lightweight, if I can, version of the prop. This is kind of like my beginning phase or whatever, and it would be just like kind of not really exact form, just kind of like the shape of said prop. And then the next step is to shape it down into the right shape and make it secure and strong, so it's not gonna like break under pressure or rain or whatever. And then the last step is always to decorate it. Like do your painting, your any sort of intricate design on the blade or whatever if we're talking about swords. So yeah, remember to take your time, have fun with it. But yeah, I'm sorry, I keep saying but yeah a lot in my videos. I'm trying to stop it, I swear. I'm just really tired right now, so you have to bear with me. My dog's under the table, so if you hear any weird noises, that's just her. Okay, so let's get started. So, I have the list written out so I don't forget anything. Yay! Okay, so cardboard is really, really good for basic stuff. If you know cardboard, you have like the flat side, and in between them they have that weird jagged ridginess in the middle. That can be really annoying, but cardboard is really good for lightweight use. You can cover it in plaster strips, and that will increase the durability of it. This is what I made with cardboard and plaster strips. Just a shuriken. I didn't really use these that much, so they're kind of dusty, but yeah, it's kind of thing like this. For bigger projects, I think you can still use cardboard, and it's like, you have a lot of it, you can get really big sheets of it, and you can get boxes, use up old boxes, and that's very good. X-Acto knives are really good to have around the house. Well, not around the house, but good for you to have, because they can cut out designs easier than scissors can, and the only thing is, watch it, because I myself have, and a lot of my other friends have hurt themselves with X-Acto knives, so they can be quite tricky to use without hurting yourself, it seems. So yeah, be safe, don't nick yourself as much as possible, but yeah. Scissors work too, if you really don't want to use X-Acto knives. Just, X-Acto knives can cut through more things than scissors can, most of the time. Next up is glue! Yes. So, glue is very important, because, it sticks things together. I have always really had a fondness for my hot glue gun because it's helped me out through all my beginning cosplay needs. But sometimes you can't use hot glue because it would either melt the material you're gluing together or what have you. So sometimes you need to venture out and get some super glues, because different glues, like if you're gluing plastic and plastic together, you sometimes need like a certain type of glue to make sure it sticks. So yeah. I'm sorry, my dogs are being a pain. Sorry, I got interrupted by my dogs because they are being needy. Okay, so yeah, I've talked about glue. So paper mache is one of the main things I've used in my prop making. It's really, really handy. It's lightweight. It's very versatile. The only downside to it really is you need kind of a base for it, like a wire figure to mold on, or a plaster strip base. Like if you remember when you're little and you make like the plaster masks, this is one of my masks I made before I really realized how heavy the plaster strips can get. If you can tell, it's quite thick here, and like this thing would not stay on my face, and my dog kind of got it there. So yeah, this is fully made out of plaster. I used a mask from Becker 2 inside just to get the shape for the eyes. If you can see here, I'm not sure if you can, it's very like stringy and wiry and stuff in here. That's one downside to plaster, is you can't really cut it very well, like once it's on and wet and stuff. And when you try to sand it down so it's not so bumpy, it gets really like stringy like this. So it's not that great, and it's heavy, but it is great for making a base for paper mache. But like I said, this is your prop. You can do whatever the heck you want with it. I'm just giving you suggestions of what I've found. So I've worked with clay. There's two types of clay that I found here. Is the Fimo or whatever. It's F-I-M-O. I'm assuming Fimo. And then there's Sculpey. I've used Sculpey. I haven't used the Fimo stuff, so I can't really give any opinion on it. But Sculpey is really good. It's really, really durable. The only thing is it gets really heavy. And that's kind of a downfall to a prop, is being super heavy, especially if you have to carry around and it's huge. You also have to bake it in the oven. I haven't found any really big issues with like cracking or anything, but yeah. So that's that. Really easy to paint, one thing. All the things I've said are quite easy to paint. Clay sculpting tools are really, really easy to have, or good to have, because they can help you sculpt other things. Like if you're working on like a paper mache thing and you can't get the fold of a certain area right, you can use one of the tools to help you out. So they're just like really handy to have around, the just in case tools. Wire, like just regular, like, wire, right? Not like cable wire, but bendable wire. Is really nice to have just for a frame for paper mache, or just for reference to get like the sizing of my eye, because with this mask here, I've been thinking of making the eye hole smaller, because the Harlequin mask is like the eye is smaller than this. Like, so this part here would be smaller because, yeah, his eyes are really thin. So I'd take a wire piece and just kind of measure around my eye. Being careful not to poke myself in the eye, because that would suck. But yeah. I have also used some styrofoam. I think you can also get styrofoam in like sheets, but I don't know how flexible it is. Styrofoam is really lightweight, so it's really good to carve and use and stuff, but it does not like being painted whatsoever. You need to coat styrofoam if you're going to use it in like gesso or acrylic paint, or you can just put a layer of paper mache over it and then paint that. Yeah, you can kind of tell I'm leaning over to the paper mache stuff because I'm really not fancy. I don't have enough money for and I haven't found any of the plastic stuff that I'm going to talk about later. But yeah. I'm sorry, my dog is chewing on a bone, if you guys can hear it. Keeps her quiet. So yeah.